March 22nd. My name is Monica Akiyama. I live here with my mother and father in this nice suburban area. My father is a businessman for some kind of business that I can't be bothered to remember. He's kind of a boring and plain businessman, now that I think of it. There's almost nothing remarkable about him, now that I think about it.
Is there a scroll wheel? Oh, okay.
March 23rd. He's just an unremarkable man who got a job, fell in love, got married, had a daughter, cheats on his wife, leads a secret double life, and goes on about life as if everything is completely normal and boring like he is. My mother has her line of work as well as a journalist. She's not around as much, and as much as my father hates it, she makes more money than he does. I think part of the reason she's not around is so she doesn't have to face the reality of how awful her cheating husband is, or how much of a failure her daughter is in life. I know how she feels, and I wish I could just run away from everything as well, but I imagine my father would lose his mind without either of us here. Maybe that's why she stays here, continuously suffering. She doesn't want to abandon her husband and let him spiral into depression, or her daughter, who she constantly pressures into being a good student. March 27th. I'm keeping a diary to put down my innermost thoughts and reflect on them later. There might even be some value to it if someone else were to read it. Right now, you're reading someone's private thoughts. Thoughts that I have never shared with anyone else, mind you. While I know I'm doing this just to keep my mind straight, I think that what I want is for someone to help me and save me from this nightmare. I don't know how to go about it, though. I can't ask for help directly unless I want people to think I'm worthless like my parents do. If someone truly cares about me, maybe they will try to get closer to me. If I can trust and confide in them, I can tell them. How will I know, though? The only way I feel I can do this without being too direct is by piquing their interest a little bit. Perhaps by luring them into wanting to learn more about me and hoping their curiosity gets the better of them as they try to sate their thirst for answers. Maybe with some notes, or maybe a scavenger hunt?
This is getting hard to read through your face, my dear.
March 30th. I'm currently keeping both of them under close surveillance. There has been a monumental change since the whole process started a week ago. At first, they resisted me and even lashed out at me, but now they fear me. After all these years of being so scared of them, how the tables have turned, and I have the power over them. I prepare their meals, but I refuse to give them utensils. If they don't want to eat with their hands, then it's no big loss to me. Things are going to change around here. I'm not going to let them ruin me into the ground any longer. To show them some mercy, I tried to teach them a few things to help them adapt to this new way of life. After all, teaching lessons is the best way to help people learn and improve, right? To my dismay, they didn't take me seriously. They ignored everything I said, everything I said and did, and instead called me a demon child or devil spawn. I felt my generosity fade. I punished them by taking away their food privileges for a week. April 6th. I went to check in on my parents. By the time the week was up, I saw that my dad died, withering away to practically nothing. Mom was wasting away as well, clearly about to meet the same fate. When I tried to talk to her, she didn't respond. She didn't have the energy to cry or even look me in the eyes. It's like she was just an empty shell. I couldn't sleep at all that night. I'm scared that I might have gone too far with this punishment. Even if they were causing me so much strife and grief, they didn't deserve this fate. What was I thinking? I might have gone past the point of no return now, and I don't know what to do. I just wanted to teach them a lesson, but then I guess my anger and lust for revenge clouded my judgment. In that sense, I became someone even worse than the two of them put together. All I could do was lay there in my bed, trembling and crying to myself, "What have I done? What have I become?"
I sink into the chair once I finish reading everything. The scavenger hunt. Her stress. Her parents. It all seems to make sense now. I don't even know what to make of this. Even thinking about it makes me sick to my stomach. I try to get up, but I stumble a little bit, as my knees seem to have gone weak. As I fall to the floor, I notice something under the desk. What is this? Reaching over, I find yet another torn diary scrap. Even now, she's still doing this?
There's no going back now. You and I know this all too well. If you're reading this, then you know my dark secrets. You've also demonstrated that you've tried to understand me to some extent if you've made it this far. Do you want to know how this sad little story ends? Fine, I'll tell you. Just go on and gently open the door. You know the way.
This isn't so much of a diary scrap as it is a challenge directed at the reader. A challenge directed at me. My hands are shaking as I turn the scrap over to see what I believe is the final clue. Monica, you've changed things. Forever. There's no going back now. Not for you, or me in this case. If what I've just read on that laptop is true, then you've committed some dark deeds that you can never go back on. You forced your parents to become so malnourished that they died. As much as I'd rather not, I'll walk over to the closet and gently open the door. Upon doing so, I find it to be so dark that I can't see anything. That's when I look over to the flashlight I brought with me. I thought you left it on the couch, dude. I snatch it and turn it on to shed some light on this dark situation. That's when I begin to wish I hadn't done that, and I could forget what I forced myself to see. There, I see a group of corpses that are beyond recognition. One appears to be a female, one appears to be a male, and the other appears to be a male, albeit of a smaller build. There is a thick stench in the air that makes me nearly want to puke. Honestly, how could anyone ignore this? I'm surprised you didn't smell it sooner. Monica, what have you done? I try to persevere to get a better look. None of them have any visible injuries. That's when I deduce that 2 of these corpses must belong to Monica's parents, going off her confession note to starving them to death. The other, that must be Mark. I have to get away from here. Not just from this awful odor, but to avoid getting myself into further trouble should Monica discover me here. I'll just walk away and pretend I never saw any of this. Yeah, that's what I'll do. After that, I get the hell out of here and think of my next move. What will that be? I have no idea, but I'll think of that later. I step away and turn around, and I am met with Monica's stern face glaring at me. Fuck my life.
What do you think you're doing, Hallie? I thought I told you not to go snooping around a girl's room.
What can I even say at this point? Oh, well, I was just looking around your room for gift ideas. I had no idea you were a big fan of Cascada. Cascada? I reach over for one of Monica's CDs, holding me up and smiling. Yeah, I don't think that's going to convince her. She looks past my shoulder to see her open closet door.
Well then. So you've seen my dark secret, haven't you?
Secret? What secret? I didn't see any secret. I sure didn't see any dead bodies or anything like that. What the hell is wrong with you, blabbermouth? Ah, screw it. I'm good as dead anyway.
What's wrong, Hallie? Are you scared?
My hands have become quite shaky to the point I lose my grip on the flashlight, letting it fall to the floor.
It was very difficult for me, Hallie. Will you listen to what I have to say?
They say there's no point in prolonging the inevitable, but I give a nod. I might as well enjoy however much time I have left. It's too bad I can't be anywhere else but here right now.
Thanks, Hallie. Where do I begin? When I was little, I wasn't anything like I am now. I was very shy, timid, and I could hardly do anything on my own. The old me, the original me, is nothing like what people see me as today. I was bullied quite a bit until the end of junior high school, when I tried to adopt the mask I've worn to fool everyone. Before that, though, people picked on me for being so scared of everything and for how I was so easy to fool and trick into doing anything. I was everyone's doormat. I was everyone's fool. I was often picked on by some of the jocks for being so homely and gloomy looking, too. That's when I tried to turn things around and become a prudent student, and it kind of worked.
It's unfathomable to think that Monica, one of the most beautiful girls in the school, was picked on for being homely. I placed the CD on one of the shelves next to me as I continued to listen to her.
I couldn't take the nerve-ending torture anymore. Or the never-ending torture anymore. I dedicated myself to my studies and worked very hard to get to where I am today. I started to dress differently and even started wearing my hair differently. After applying myself, it was like the old me no longer existed. She was nothing more than a memory that a lot of people conveniently forgot about. I changed everything about myself. Not just on the outside, but inside as well, as I adopted a more confident, cheerful attitude that was nothing like the old me, who was scared and had little to no self-confidence. No one bullied me anymore. If anything, I had so many people wanting to be my friend. In some cases, I even had a lot of guys approaching me and showering me with compliments. Some of those jocks who picked on me were now throwing themselves at me for a chance to be with me. Huh! If only they knew who they were hitting up on, I bet they'd feel like total idiots.
Don't need the up. The original her. I never would have guessed that the original Monica was this scared, broken person inside. No wonder she felt like she needed a mask for people to accept her. It's no wonder she was unsatisfied with herself.
That didn't matter to my parents, though. Sure, they were pleased with my new grades for a while, but anything outside of that? You really can't do anything right, can you? They tell me things like that day in and day out, and frankly, I couldn't take it anymore. No matter what I did, there was no pleasing anyone. I could honestly care less about what the teachers and students thought about me. My parents were the ones that wanted to be happy with me. I didn't want them to toss me away like I was some kind of failure or defective toy. Yet they didn't understand me or accept me.
I think back to the diary entries in her confession note. She seemed overwhelmed and like she was desperate for help. This doesn't justify her actions, but she was blinded by her frustration and what seems to be years of pain and torment from never being accepted for who she truly was. Even now, she still isn't accepted for being the original her. This is just a mask, as she said.
Admittedly, I had a lapse in judgment when I snapped one day after I couldn't take it anymore. It was like a poison was running through my veins, and it just took me over completely. I shouldn't have gone about things the way I did. I just didn't see it that way at the time. All I wanted was to punish them for never accepting me, for never loving me for the person I truly was. I just wanted revenge, as sad as it sounds. Validation. I still did everything I could to take care of them and think of ways to make sure the people at their workplaces didn't get suspicious. I shouldn't have let it come to this, but once I made that decision to let them go a week without food, it was already too late. I was even wondering if I deserved to live after what I had done. If I should atone for my dark deeds.
Monica,
That's when Mark came into my life and confessed that he liked me one day. I was so happy, and I thought that I found someone who would understand me. I brought him over to my house, a lot like I did with you, and he eventually found out about my secret, and it mortified him. Understandably so, but I was hoping he would at least give me a chance to explain myself. That's one thing I will say about you, Hallie. He didn't want to hear a single word from me about why I did the things I did. He automatically branded me a criminal, a murderer. He confronted me, but then he tried to get away, threatening to expose me as the demented psychopath I was, but then I caught him. I couldn't risk anyone finding out about this, so I made sure to keep him right here with me, forever.
So after all this time, Mark disappearing was because...
That's right. No one could know. Mark made it clear that he wouldn't rest until the world knew about me, but I couldn't have that. There was already nothing else for me to lose, so I gave him the same treatment as my parents. I had already become so dark and twisted by my lust for revenge that I just gave into it. I already accepted that no one would ever love or accept me for who I was, so there was no point in trying to live a normal life any longer. Then there was you. For some reason, I felt you would be different, but now I'm left to wonder. Are you going to run away too?
Stay by Monica's side? Good God, what a choice. Well, I definitely want to see what all three of them have to say. This one's like outright rejecting her. This one's fully accepting her. And this one's like kind of in between, I guess. Literally and figuratively. Which to choose first? My God. I'll go the middle route for now. No. I won't leave you. I'm staying by your side.
Really? You're going to stay with me?
Yes. I'm not going to abandon you.
I can't tell you how happy that makes me, Hallie. Understand, though, that you have to stay with me forever. You can't ever leave my side. I mean it.
I won't leave you, Monica. Monica then begins to giggle in a manner most sinister as she eyes me up and down.
You don't have to worry, Hallie. I'll take good care of you and give you the best food I can offer you every day from now on.
Before my mind registers what she's implying, Monica shoves me into the closet and slams the door shut. As I stumble to my feet, I hear some footsteps rustling, followed by the sound of something being dragged in front of the door. I'm trapped in the closet. When I said I wasn't going to leave her, this isn't what I had in mind. Now it looks like I'm going to share the same fate as Mark and Monica's parents. I suppose this is what I get for not being specific with my choice of words. Bad End 2. Trapped in the closet. Oh, what a way to go. Well, that was something. Oh, what's this 3? What is this 3? Oh, okay. It shows you how many endings there are, so does that mean there's 2 more to find? Well, do we just get the other 2 by looking at those other options? Like, how does this do? I didn't really save this entire time, so I guess we're clicking new game. And we'll try to cut to the chase as quick as we can. Longest time, hold on. Name's Monica. Yes. Okay, oh, it still says it's skipping. I hope it doesn't continue doing that. So I'm kind of curious to drop in on Monica, like, more often during this one and see when we are able to talk to her and when we're not. Not this time, clearly. She sent us to the bathroom, right? Uh-oh. Oh, it is still on skipping. I can't seem to make it stop skipping. Okay, well... Oop, there was my chance to stop her from skipping. Alright, like, maybe I'll double tap next time I get to a corridor or something. I'm trying to stop her from skipping. I don't know if I can do it from the UI. Oh god. What have I done? I mean, if it's any new text, it'll tell us. It's not like it'll override that or anything. Yeah, see, here we go, and I can turn off skip. Talk with Monica. Allie? Oh, I guess we already had this conversation. That's fine. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it, dear. There's that note. Okay. Can't talk to her yet. Oh, back out here. Nope. Oh, this is last clue asked, are you going to stay the night? As much as I don't want to think about that, or about it, there's really only one other place I can think of that really staying the night, and it's a place I wish I didn't have to go. Right. Okay. So this was one we needed to go to remember. Maybe I don't turn on skip. Alright, go to the door that is in the bathroom, and gently turn the doorknob. I'm just gonna... Wait, skip's actually not an option right now. Why is that? We already saw that text, didn't we? Done it now. We're going back. We find the thing. I'm reluctant to press skip again. I'll just mash on through, I suppose. Okay, so... Can we talk to her now? Let's talk with Monica.
Still walking around the house, Allie?
Yeah.
Thanks again for being so mature and understanding. I hope you're not too bored.
Oh no, I'm just watching this marathon for Super Henkei Hero Force Go on the TV right now.
I think my friend Akane is a huge fan of that show. Not what I'd expect her to watch, but to each their own. Anyway, hopefully dinner will be ready soon.
Got it. Time to get out of the kitchen. I don't know why I waltzed in here anyway. To talk to Monica. I have a scavenger hunt to complete. I should probably, pay closer attention to which notes I'm on. The clue said something about being proper for guests way around the house, right? I think there's a chance I'll find something like that near the entrance. Yeah. I kinda wish I didn't have to be going back and forth, but oh well. Nah, that's fine. Also, there's a room in here we haven't actually gotten into yet. No, there's still 2, actually. Mysteries. Okay, so this note... It's too hot to play. That's back in the kitchen. Yes. Still busy making food. We've seen this part before. Just skipping ahead a little bit. Not a lot. Lots of stress, etc. On the back is study X study. Right, back in her room. Walking back in the kitchen. Oh yeah, we're throwing out the popsicle stick. And she burns herself a bit. Oh, I must have missed the skip button. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just mash. Oh. We'll drop some saves when we get closer to the choices. Buh. Buh. Okay, so this is when we needed to go to her room. Wander over. Find the diary scrap. Get the first hint that something may be off. If you break it, you bought it. That's the base. Let's go to the kitchen and see if we can talk to her. We cannot. Okay. Yep. Fake plant. Another note. Living in lifestyle. Baby, it's cold outside. Okay. And that one was what? The coats? I'm talking about. Can't talk to her. What happens if we try the basement now, I wonder? I should be searching for clues. Okay, yeah, it doesn't let us go there yet. Not even Christmas. Oh wait, why is... That was different. It's not even Christmas time, but I can't help but think of that one song. If I think about the song, it's about going out into the cold, right? Or are they coming back inside after being out in the cold? Whatever, that song's kind of confusing. But what do you use when you're cold? A jacket. I like that there's like these little hints to help you figure out which room is correct. But it kind of makes me want to click all the wrong rooms and see. There are the coats hung up, yes. And there was this note. Garbage day. Go back to the kitchen. Sifting through the garbage, not suspicious at all. After all the commotion, feels like the right one. Scrap paper, it's going to be as hell. Okay, yeah, the garden was the one where we went to the basement randomly. So, I'm gonna drop a save. The HUD went away. Can I press escape to reach the save menu? I can. Okay, I'm gonna drop a save right here. This is before we went to the basement. Let's try. Well, can I talk to her? Cannot. Let's go to the entrance first. No? So maybe the basement was inevitable after all. I'm curious about these locked rooms, because there's gotta be a way in there, right? But where would we find the key? Like, this isn't truly point and click so much it is just walking around a whole lot. And surprisingly, her murder basement wasn't used for murder at all. Back outside to the garden. Can we so foolish sometimes? Century, yeah. Girl in the mirror.